Right, now that we eliminated all messages from the computer, we can move into class. So today, of course, is the Pilates intermediate workout. Oh, and I have my screen angled incorrectly. See if we can see the mat. I think that'll work. All right, so let's start laying down on your backs. And then just extend the arms out to the side. We'll do a little warm up first. So take the right leg up, cross the bent knee over the other one, and then let your hips fall over to the left, turn your head to the right. Lifting the hip, but not the shoulder blade on the right side. And then exhale, come back to center. Now the knees glide to the right. You turn your head left. Use your right leg to pull down and pull that left knee away from the left armpit. A little extra stretch there. Exhale, return to center. Do one more set like this. So the cross legs slide over to your left as you turn your head to look right. Opening across the front of the chest. Exhale back to center. And then we'll pull that left knee long as the knees tip over to the right. Turn your head, look away from the angle of your knees. Stretch the arms long across the floor and then exhale back to center. We uncross the legs, recross. And now the knees tip to the right, look left. The shoulder blades stay heavy on the mat. Exhale back to center. And then even as the knees go over to the left and you look right, you keep that right shoulder blade down, even though you're lifting the right hip and waist and some of the ribs. Exhale back. And one more set. We inhale into our stretches here. Go long through the left arm. Try to open up that left pec. The stretch will pull across the front of the armpit into the upper arm. And then exhale back to center. And then to the other side. This rocking will massage out the area by your sacrum, and so will the stretches. Exhaling, come back to center, and then uncross. Let's go onto hands and knees, quadruped position, and we'll do a little cat-cow here. So I know that's often from yoga, but there's also cats in the Pilates work. So here, let's lift the waist, curl the tail under, hang the head down, and then just slide your hips back. Bring your glutes back by your heels, only if that feels good in your knees. The arms reach far, maybe push the mat away so you feel that stretch in your lats. And then coming back. Now here, arch the body. So look up, pull the chest forward, lift your tail, spread and lift your sits bones. Keep that arch back position as you go back. I'm pressing the heel of my hand in, but lifting the fingertips up. So I'm getting more extension at the wrist. And then come forward, rock forward so the palms are spread open onto the ground. Drop your head, curl the tail to your nose, and vice versa. Lift your waist up. And now we rock back again. So feel how the stretch changes as you change the angle of your hips in relationship to your legs. And then coming forward, still keeping that flexed spine. And then we arch, chest up, eyes up, tail up. And go back in the arch. So this is the cow part of cat and cow. And then move forward again. We'll do one more of these. Press the ground away with your hands and your knees as you flex your spine and go back here. The knees are apart 4 to 5 inches. So that puts the leg in alignment with the hip joint. And then we're arching. And again, going back, only go back as far as your knees are happy. And then forward again here. That looks good. Great job. Now we can wag the tail a little from side to side. This is a cat that comes from Joe Pilates student Cathy Stanford Grant. And you want to look for your tail as you wag it to one side, bring your head around, look for the imaginary tail, and then look for it on the other side. Well, we do have a tail, but ours are much shorter. Think of having a nice long fluffy one or an angry one like a cat that's lashing its tail side to side. This will give you a little bit of a side bend stretch. You can also bend the elbow on the side you're side bending towards and pull the heel of the hand back in towards that knee to give you more opening on the opposite side. One last one. And then we'll come to sitting near the front of the mat to roll back into hundreds. Hope that felt good. And here we go, sit upright. And then look down, tuck, round your back towards the ground. You can bring the arms forward or hold onto the back of your legs for support. Stop when you get to your upper hip curl. Tip of the blades touch, pull both legs in, and then palms are down. Extend the legs out and up, start pumping the arms. Inhaling, and then exhaling. Remember, it's 5 beats traditional. Sometimes it's 4, depending on how fast you want to move the arms. We want to keep the body stable here, regardless of how fast you're moving the arms in that pump. The collarbones are wide. You're taking a deep breath in to fill your lungs to capacity, and exhale and pull the belly deep to help empty the air out of your lungs to the amount that is possible there. There's always a little bit of an air reserve in the lungs. So we're not going to totally empty it, but you want to empty it as much as you can. The legs stretch, right? You are using your quads to straighten the knees. And you're still lifting here. Picture the line of muscle from your jaw to your tailbone knitting together and pulling your chest up and forward so you get more rounding into the upper back and the waistline can press into the ground. And let's fold the legs in, lay your head down, hug the knees in, do some knee stirs here, circling the knees towards each other and then away. And then let's reverse the direction. And now we slide the legs forward for roll up. You could use a TheraBand around your feet or go band free. The arms reach back, the ribs stay grounded. There's no additional arch in the spine. Bring the arms forward, shoulder blades heavy, lift your head, your neck, your shoulders, exhale and round over. Dive forward here. Definitely easier to get that first lift off the mat after doing cat-cow. It really helps warm up the spine so it doesn't feel as stiff the first time you rise. Take the arms back behind you and then bring the arms forward again. Exhale to pick up the rib cage. Keep the exhale going as you pounce over your legs. Suck the belly back into the spinal curve. Shoulders still melting. Try not to hunch the shoulders, but let them melt down your back, slide down your back, sink deep into the ground, and you yawn your body open to the ceiling. Let's lift again. Your nose, your eyes, look down your midline. Bring your forehead over your knees. And back you go. Lengthen out through your legs to the center of the sole of each foot. We'll do one last one. Remember, take your time. The arm position will vary. The higher it goes, the more work you'll feel. The lower it is, the easier it is to both lift and lower with control. You want to be sure that the arm position is correct for your descent because we want to place every vertebra down one after the next and not go down in big chunks. And then we'll circle the arms around to the side. From here, single leg circles. Another place where you can use the option of a TheraBand here around your leg. Let's first pull the right knee in, hug it in tight. Let the left leg reach away, maybe press that left hand onto the left thigh to give it a little bit more grounding and a feeling of stretch. And then you can lift the right foot up to the ceiling, soft point through that foot, flex to the one along the mat. And we circle, inhale across the body, and then exhale, the leg goes down, out to the side, externally rotate it, bring it up to the ceiling and reach again. You're drawing a beautiful circle in the air with the foot at the same time that you're working your torso to keep it grounded and level on the mat surface. So when the leg moves to the left, be sure the right side is heavy. Then the right side sinks down even before the right leg moves out to the left. Short, deep inhale and a long exhale will help you organize your core and keep you steady on the ground. Let's reverse. Rotate the right leg out to the side. The left side is glued to the floor. Exhale, circle around, dragging the leg up, bringing it high and reach again. Keep trying to find more length with every circle as you warm up your center and become more coordinated with organizing your body on the mat. You should be able to take the leg further and further out into space. It's not just your strength, it's your ability to use it appropriately that matters here. The coordination is essential. Okay, and then here, fold that knee into your chest, pull it tight again. And then switch legs. So the right one goes forward. Take a moment to admire the work that you just did. That side should feel more relaxed. The leg should feel longer. The leg is more connected to the ground. And now pull the left one in. Hug it in tight as you reach out through the sits bone. And then extend the leg up to the ceiling. Soft point through that foot. The right one is flexed. And then we circle. Go across the body first. And then exhale, go low, out to the side. Pull the leg up high. We're looking to stretch the muscles in the leg and around the hip, but also help open up the spaces in the joints. So you breathe as you go, 1 breath per circle. Feel that work in your oblique abdominals in particular as they work to hold the body down against the movement and weight of your leg. We'll complete the circle, bring it high enough to feel the stretch in the back line of your leg and reverse. Out to the side as you inhale, the right side sinks into the ground like it's falling into quicksand. Drag the leg around and lift it high and reach again. Soft point with the feet. You don't want to overpoint the toes and cause the foot to cramp. So think of like pouring the energy of your body out through the center of the foot by the balls of the feet, the metatarsals here. Let's go for 1 more circle. Pull that around all the way up and then fold that knee into your chest. Again, release it forward. Just see how that feels in your legs, but also in your low back. Releasing those hips should make the low back feel softer and more relaxed. So let's pull the right knee in now and then roll forward and up for rolling like a ball. So we're coming up, pushing the leg forward to help you rise and hold on to your legs, shins, more difficult, easier, hands to the thighs. Curl the tail up, round your spine into a C curve, elbows wide and forward, and we roll. Lift the tail to roll to your shoulder blades. Pick your butt up in the air, but keep your head and your neck off the mat. So you inhale to go back to the blades, and then you exhale to come forward to that balance on your sacrum. Do that again. This helps you align your body by working the right and left side of your body equally. Right? Because you'll notice that if one side works harder, the body's going to steer like a sled off the course, straight down the hill and into a diagonal into the trees. So we want to be sure you're rolling straight down the middle of your mat on the way back and up again. 1 more. Really press the shins into the hands as you're pulling the hands back into the legs. You'll feel more work in the arms and the torso. So here are the ab series. Pull the right leg in, right hand to the ankle, left hand below the knee. Both hands on your right shin, and as you roll back slowly to your upper curl, extend the left leg. So you're working your core on the way down, elbows wide and lifted. Now let's switch. Inhale, and exhale, switch again. So as one leg goes forward, the other leg pulls in tight. And as you press down with your hands, push up with your shin. You want to feel that work in both the arm, the leg, and then also in the center of your body, in your core, in your torso. Good, the legs slide directly out of the socket. Keep them aligned. They're not drifting to the side or across the center line either. 1 more for the left. Pull the right leg in to meet it, double leg stretch. You push up with the shins, down with the arms, elbows wide and forward. Now inhale, lift the arms, lift the legs, yawn your body open like a hammock here to the ceiling, and then circle wide, embrace the legs in, and feel that connection again. So you release and stretch, and then you circle and hug. Do it again. We have 2 more here. Try to keep pulling your gaze forward and down your body. Don't look up at your feet when they lift. We'll take a little break here for the neck after this one. So lay your head down. Of course, you could do that at any time you need to. Don't wait for me. Obviously, you know your own body and what's going on. You turn the head from side to side here. And now we're lifting up for scissors. So you can use your hands to your legs, pull yourself up to that upper curl again. Take your right leg up in the air, reach high on the ankle, the left leg goes out, and we switch the legs. Again, keep your gaze fixed on the navel. You can watch the tracking of your legs straight out of the hip joint and then back up to the sky. If you need to bend the knee when it comes to the top, do so. Soften the knee so that you get a healthy stretch in the back of the leg without overstraining the back of the knee. And we'll end with the left leg up Bring the right leg to meet it. The hands come around to support the base of the skull. You pull the head up, you pull the elbows down and in, double leg, lower lift. You push the legs out and away. And then exhale and bring them on up. Reaching forward, out and down. Try to squeeze the legs together wherever they might touch. It could be like the balls of the big toes, the inner edges of the heels, maybe the inside of the knee condyles. Part of your legs will touch and part won't, but try to pull them in towards each other regardless. And one more. Be cautious with this one. Don't go too low with the legs because that'll take you into your back. And now we rotate to the right and then to the left. You come up and you twist the armpit towards the inner knee. There's a feeling of lift as well as a rotation. Keep your torso in line with the outside of your hip and the outside of your thighs. You're not side bending here. Hello, obliques. I know you feel it. I definitely do myself. Let's go for one last one because, hello, we want to welcome them to the party and then come back to center and hug the legs in. Release the legs down, and now it's time for spine stretch. So we can pull one leg in and roll forward and up to sitting. Take the legs apart, a little wider than your hips. If your hamstrings are tight, definitely elevate your hips up on a book, a yoga block, something. Extend the arms forward, collarbones wide so the shoulders are relaxed. Now push down with the arms, lift up through your halo, look down. Chin to chest, bring the head forward to move the neck, and then start moving the upper back, the mid back, the low back as you dive over the space between your legs. Stretch it out, suck the belly back, curve the spine where it might feel tight, and then press down with your legs, articulate the spine up from the bottom to the top. The heart rises and the eyes are on the horizon. Look down again, exhale all the way forward. The back of the head pulls you out over and down in a beautiful arc, a curve, your body like a wave sliding out of the ocean and up onto the shore. And then you feel that undertow pull you back and lift you as you come back into the salty water. And let's go down again, diving forward. You feel that stretch. There's still a counter stretch, right? So as you go forward with the head, with the fingers, you're going back with the blades and back with the waist. And then press down. You want that feeling of buoyancy and lift as you come all the way up. Once more to go down. Exhale continuously, fully, deeply. Stretch the back of your body around the front. And then we'll come forward for open leg balance and rocker. So you can hold the thighs easier. You can bring your hands to the inside of the ankles, lift your feet. And now the right leg goes up, stretch it. The right shoulder stays relaxed and down. And then you bring the heels down to connect. And now the left. The gaze stays down a little bit. So sort of looking down at your heels. You want the curve of your neck to continue the curve of the upper back, the thoracic spine. And now for the left. Stretch the knee open to whatever angle you can. And now both legs. You lift them up, the hands may rotate around the outside of the leg, and then fold the heels back in. Do that again when the legs lift. Keep them narrow as opposed to really wide, so that your feet are the width of your shoulders. And then pull that back down. We're going to go up one last time. You inhale to extend the legs. You exhale to round your back more. And then you inhale to roll. Lift the tail to go back to your blades. Exhale, come forward and up. Find that position on your balance, and then take it back. And exhale forward. You're still looking down towards your navel so that the weight of your head doesn't slam you into the ground and prevent you from rolling forward and up. One more. The head tip down helps you get more curve into that back. And now bring the legs together. You can slide your hands down your legs, or you can bring the arms forward and up, and then lift your tail, roll the low spine down. Once you're down, the arms press at your side. You lift the legs as vertically as you can, whether the knees are bent or straight. And corkscrew, circle the legs over to the right. Exhale, down, around to the left, and then back up to the ceiling, completing the exhalation. And now going to the left with the inhale, exhale, around. Now work your core here, work through your arms, hold your body stable, and then move the legs here. as a challenge for your ability to keep the hips grounded here on your mat. One more like that, keeping the hips still, reaching up and out to the center of the sole of each foot. Now let's try the variation where you're going to tip the hips and get the work in your obliques in a different way. So lift your left hip up to bring the legs to the right, lower the legs down. Now pick up the right hip to bring the legs to the left, keep the right shoulder down, come to the ceiling. So notice this is slow enough so that it's very controlled. You pick up the right hip, the hip tips the legs over to the left. You lower the legs, as from your psoas. You're going to pull the legs across. Now pick up the left hip. The shoulder blade stays down, but the hip rises. And then you pull the left hip down to bring the legs up to the ceiling. And one more set. Left hip lifts, pull the legs over to the right, stretch them out. You can really spin that lower part of your torso off the mat. This is how we progress the exercise into a more advanced version. And here we go, picking up the right hip, pushing down through the right arm and shoulder blade. How high can you go? How far can you take it? And then you circle only as low as you can go without arching the spine. Now roll through the pelvis. Pull that left hip up using your oblique abdominals. Pull the hip down from the back. And here we fold the knees in. And we're rolling forward and up for saw. Come up and you open the legs wider than you did for spine stretch. You might still elevate your hips if that's necessary for the hamstring length. Extend the arms out and slightly forward of your collarbones. Float up at the heart and the eyes. Inhale, let's rotate to the right and dive and stretch. Pull the arms long in opposition. You're pressing the left arm into the leg to open up your chest more as you rotate. Lift to come up, center here, and then spin to the left. The palm faces away from your center. On that forward arm, on the right arm, the left arm palm to the ceiling, and you reach low through the fingertips. Pull yourself upright, keep the twist, and then unwind it. And now we twist to the right again. That leads you out over and down in that beautiful curved arc. Anchor down through your opposite glute. Your left sits bone sinks into the floor. Lift up, center your weight here, equal on your sits bones, and then dive, stretch. Put more weight in the right sits bone, bolt it into the ground, and then spiral the chest away from the ground and towards the wall. Lift to come up. We center and lower the arms, and you can pull the legs together, flip over onto your stomach here for swan. So be sure you're aligned, nose, sternum, navel, pubic bone, the center line of your mat. And then your hands come in by your armpits, your head floats off of the ground. And we pull back with the elbows, forward with the eyes, forward with the chest. Coming up, you do an upper back extension, and then pull yourself down, releasing from the back muscles, go all the way down and look down at the ground. So try to slide the mat towards your legs. Feel that gives you that pull forward and up. You're going to push to the arms as you lift, but also be aware the back is lifting you. The back muscles try to work to pick you up, and then they relinquish their control to take you down. One more like that. Pull forward, lift, bending the spine backwards, keeping the bottom of the pelvic girdle on the mat surface, and then release it down again. From here, elbows come forward, you prop yourself up for your single leg kick. So pull the elbows down, push your fist into the mat, lift the collarbones, widen them, pull the chest forward, and stretch your abs. Now we pull the right heel in, kick 1, 2, and down. Now the left, double beat, 1 and 2, and lower to the right. That is energetically lifting, looking up the wall. Occasionally, of course, I'm looking at the side to see you in the camera here. Try to really feel that stretch in your quad with every beat, and keep the pelvis grounded. Make it heavy as if you filled it with wet sand. And it can't move. You can try to pull the front of your body away from it, so you feel that stretch across the belly. And the eyes lift up, so you feel a little stretch in your throat too. Let's lay yourselves down, double leg kick. Turn your head to the right, so your left cheek is on the mat, and you overlap your hands high on the ribs. Drop your elbows. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, 3 beats with both legs. Pulse 1, 2, 3. Push your shins into the floor, and then reach back. If you can, intertwine the thumbs, reach the fingers back, and pull the blades together behind your body, going down to turn your head left. Elbows fall and kick the air out of your lungs again. Pulse it out. 3 beats, and the legs go down. You reach back. You stretch the chest. You rise, and then you're down, looking to the right. Feel that stretch across the hips as well as in the quads. And then reach the back. If you can't intertwine the thumbs, just bring your palms towards each other or facing the ceiling as you rise and try to reach them as far back as you can to move the shoulders from your ears. Bring it down. And again, pulsing the air out of your lungs. Pump here, feet to the ground, and we lift less time. Lowering down and push up into a child's pose. Curl your tail under towards your nose. Push the mat away with your arms and feel that give you more of a stretch into the low back. And then we stack the spine from the bottom to the top, coming upright. Turn around. Here we go for neck pull. The feet will be apart about 5 inches. Feet will be flexed. Square off your hips, and then take your hands behind the base of the skull at the occipital ridge. You pull the skull up, lifting the elbows, lifting the halo, dropping the shoulder blades, and then hinge back in a plank from your hip joint. And then you round your back and curl the tail up and lower the spine down into the ground. Come down, and then to lift, easiest, take the fist into the palm, straight line across, elbow to elbow. Exhale, now push into your arms. Dive over, bring your hands behind your skull. Pull the head forward to lengthen the spine, not down to compress it. And then we articulate up. The belly stretches as the back picks you up from the bottom to the top. Elbows are high, shoulders are down. And then you lean back, look down, tuck. You can pull the elbows in. You can even bring the arms forward if you need that to have total control of your spine, lowering one vertebra after the next to the floor. And then coming up, you can also hold your hands here much harder, more load away from center, diving over your legs. Take that deep bow, feel the stretch. It's okay to bend your knees if that gives you more stretch in the middle of the hamstring. That's where the muscle has the chance to lengthen. You want to be careful about how it feels at the ends, at the sits bone, which is the hamstring attachment, and behind the knee. Coming all the way down here. And lift to come up. Again, you can always alternate the hand into the fist. Really press. You'll feel that connection into your oblique abdominals when you do the press. And then you dive over. Take a deep bow. Articulate up for the last time down. So lean it back. Look down, tuck when you need to. Be proactive to protect your spine. Go all the way down. And then we bring the feet in for bridge. So arms at your side. Press your feet into the floor. They should be in the same plane. And we begin with the pelvic tuck. Curl the tail up, imprinting the low back into the ground. Pull the knees forward. As you lift the tail up and forward, you're going to come up and press into the upper arms and the top of your shoulders. Now you even want to roll a little bit to the outer arm to lift the heart up, and then give yourself more of a boost up through your glutes to really open your hips to the ceiling. Just keep the inner thighs engaged so the knees don't splay open. And now we roll to the inner arm. Feel how your scapula broadens under your back. Try to lower your sternum to lower the spine between your blades. Work your spine down 1 inch, 1 vertebra at a time. Only at the very end, you release your tail to the ground and find that slight lift of your waistline off the mat. And we do that again. So beginning with the pelvic tuck. Roll the spine off from the tail all the way up as high as you can. Coming to the upper back extension. And let's add some marches today. So you're going to keep your hips in the air, pick up the right knee, and lower the foot without dropping the hip. It's a lot of support from underneath. And now the left. You're really pushing into the right side and also feeling the left side of the body cantilevered off the right. So you press down through the left leg, pull the right knee up, lower it down. And then we alternate legs. Now the left one lifts and then brings it down. Take your time. One more. Good. Really press to the back of the arms too, because engaging the triceps helps you engage your lats for more support in the upper part of your back. And now we roll to the inner arm and round the back, the upper back first. Release yourself into the ground from the top to the tail. Coming up now to sitting for spine twist. Again, here's where you would elevate your hips. If that back line of your body is tight, especially the hamstrings, bring the arms out and slightly forward of the collarbones. Push down with the arms, grow up and go wide with the collarbones here. Rotate to the right and we twist and pulse 1, 2, 3. Lift to center and then spin to the left and pulse 1, 2, and 3. Feet should remain flexed and exactly where they are when you started. So don't let your feet shift from side to side. You want to get that rotation from the tailbone up and keep the 2 pelvic halves grounded nice and steady here onto your mat. This looks good. Everyone's avoiding doing a 90-degree angle at the arms. You want to keep the arms out at that about 170-degree angle here. Resisting the temptation to pull the back arm forward as you rotate away from it. Last time to the left, bring out your midline. Come back to center and lower the arms. And we lay down onto our backs here for jackknife. Work your spine down, use your core to lower with control. So from here, fold the knees in, extend the legs up, squeeze them together, and then press them a little bit away. And then you press through your arms as you bring the legs up and over. Initially, when you learn jackknife, the legs start low, sort of parallel to the ground, and then you bring them up high. And then you'll probably lower them down again before you roll out your spine. And if the back line is tight, you're going to probably have to bend the knees a bit. Keep working on it. This will help stretch out that back line, I promise. Take the legs forward and we lift again. Also remember, if this seems out of reach initially, you can always elevate your hips. To begin, like let your hips start resting on a yoga block, a roller, a sofa cushion, whatever you have. And then we lift the legs, opening at the hips. This builds strength into the hamstrings and the glutes. Then you can lower the legs down a bit and work your spine down. Pull back through the halo. Keep looking back. Don't let your gaze follow your feet. You want to keep the head grounded to help keep the upper back grounded. And we'll do it again. If you're progressing, you can think of not taking the legs so low, but bringing them up immediately higher. It's more effort, it's more work. And then try to keep the hips more open as you lower the spine down. It's also more load away from center. So we're gradually learning to increase the level of difficulty of the exercise without taking it out of your range too much, right? You want to challenge yourself but not overwhelm your body. And let's do that one last time, going up. Use that exhale to help you. And remember, on the way down, keep lifting up through the sole of your feet so that you're not just feeling down, you're also feeling this impetus up. And then we can fold the knees and come up and turn over onto the right for at least a few of the side kicks. So you can prop yourself up. At this level, the top hand is pressing into the mat in front of your chest. As you advance, the hand will come behind your head. So let's pick up the top leg, flexing the feet. And inhale, pull that heel forward. Pulse 1, 2, 3. Point the foot, take it back, and pulse 1, 2, and 3. Bottom leg stays grounded and pushing into the floor. Triple beat forward, and then a triple beat back. Do that once more. We're getting nice flexion at the ankle. And then point the foot before the leg goes behind you, opening your hip, stretching your quad. Come back to center, lower the leg, and we rotate externally, point to kick the leg up, flex, and bring it on down. Drag the space open and squeeze the space shut between your legs. One more to lift, and then exhale to close. Now reverse, flex to bring it up, point to stretch it out and away. We flex and we lift, point and stretch it on down. Let's do one more like this. We'll skip développé and go right into rond de jambe, the big circle. Inhale forward, exhale up, around, back, and then through center. And again, take your time. Really hold your body into the ground. Think of it welded to the mat. And one more in this direction. Up, out. You rotate the leg on the socket as you're drawing a beautiful circle in the air with your foot. And now as the leg goes back, do not lean forward. Hold yourself balanced on your side seam. Bring leg up, around, forward, and then through center without leaning back. So even though I know you feel that you're working your leg, and particularly like this outer hip, there's also a lot of work going on in your core to hold your body strong against the movement and weight of that leg. All right, we're going to leave that here and then go onto your stomach for grasshopper. Overlap your hands. And let's pick up both legs from the glutes and open and close, clapping the heels together as you open and close the upper thighs. The forehead presses down, the tail tries to drop to the floor. Feel that work in the back line. One more breath. Lower the legs. Child's pose. Hands by the chest. Pick up. Sink back. Stretch the arms forward. Hairline to the ground if you can. And then stack the spine from the bottom to the top. And we turn in the other direction. Facing the camera. Propping yourselves up on the bottom arm. Bring legs forward, maybe 30 degrees from the line of your spine. And top hand can press into the ground. Reach the top leg long so that your waist is floating off the ground. Pick up your top leg. Flex to bring it forward, triple beat. 1, 2, 3. Point the foot, take it back. And again, pulse 1, 2, and 3. Flex to bring it forward. You have to actively think of pushing the bottom leg into the ground. I have to really think about that when the leg goes behind me. And then one more here. Point, stretch the leg back. Feel the openness across the quad and the front of your hip bone. Come back to center and we lower the leg. We rotate externally, point to bring it high, and then flex to pull it down. Point and you lift. Flex and you squeeze the air out from between your legs. Point going up. Flex the foot and then reach down. Now reverse. Flex to lift. Point, stretch it out and away. Flex and lift. Point, take it out and down. One more like this. We skip développé on the other side, so we will here as well. And now rond de jambe. Inhale forward, exhale up, around, back, reach back, use your glute, pull the leg behind you, pull it through center, and you stand in the arm to help you organize the body so it doesn't shift away from your leg. Stay balanced here on your sideline. One more in this direction. Completing the circle, let's reverse. Take it back, rotate externally, lift the leg forward, around and down. 2 more like that. The longer you make your body, think of reaching the head away from the hip, away from the foot, the more stable you'll feel. All right, we finished with the legs closed. And let's go ahead and turn over onto your back here. Pull the knees into your chest. We're going to roll up to sitting into a teaser position. So you lift your head, neck, and shoulders, upright curl, push the legs forward, come right up into teaser. Legs can be extended or bent if you need to. You're balanced on your sacrum. You're a little behind your sits bones. That's it. That's good. And now from here, you can extend the arms forward and then just bend the knees, tap the toes down, lift the legs up, tap again. Try to hold your body steady. Your psoas works to hold the torso the same distance from the thighs. And once more, lift, hold it up. All right, good. And now curl the tail, look down at your belly. As you start to roll your spine down, you can eventually pull the knees in and go down with control with your spine. The knees fold in towards your chest. So that's a variation, which is a really good learning modification for this exercise that builds your strength. Now we're coming up again, so hands to your shins. And lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Maybe take your hands to your thighs as you push the legs forward, elbows wide, come back up into your teaser position. Bring the arms up. And now try rolling back with the spine a little bit. And then pull the torso towards the legs. So we roll the tail up, we go back over the sacrum towards the hips, and then lift. And one more like that. Be sure you're not arching the back. You've got to round it, even if it means you pull the knees in closer to your center. And now from here, lower the feet and roll your spine out and down. Take your time, build some strength into those low abs and your psoas, the arms down to the ground. All right, we're going to come up now and do a variation on the side bend. So let's pull one knee into your chest, coming up to sitting, and then let's sit facing the camera. Your top leg is in front slightly of the other one. So it's like your heel of your top leg or down sort of at the base of your toes, or you can have the heel stacked a little bit on that bottom leg. If this is tight, you can also open the knees really wide, or you can go anywhere in between, right? So maybe eventually the legs would be completely stacked and you're still able to come upright and sit up. So wherever you are with the legs, let's lift your arm. It's on the opposite side from your shins. Take your hand to the shins and then dive over that way to take a big stretch here on your sideline. You should probably feel this especially from the rib cage down. Now lift to come up. Bring your hand down to the ground, slide out onto your elbow. And then lift your waist, drop your head into another side bend here. Push the arm on the floor, lift to come up. And then we side bend over the legs again. Coming up, hand lowers, go down, drop your head, lift your rib cage, spread it open on the top. It closes, of course, on the bottom. And then pull yourself up here and side bend over. Coming upright, and we swing the legs to the other side. Pick whatever leg position works for you. The knee can be anywhere that allows you to sit up and still feel a bit of work here and a bit of a stretch as you go over. Remember, no rotation. Keep your torso parallel to the wall in front of you, parallel to your screen. Your arms can go out. You slide out and over onto your elbow. Dive the head down. Pull up from your obliques. You can use a little support from the arm along the mat. Side bend away, opening the side seam here. Lift on up. The head floats free to the ceiling. And then we dive over again. Really push the ground away to get a little more stretch through your rib cage on the sideline. And let's just do one more. Eventually, both arms can lift. And then you would take one arm down, go over like so. And then hopefully on the lift, you'll be able to bring both arms up again. And then let's bring the arms down. All right, and we are good for today. Thank you so much for